Hey guys, alright, today I have another reformer workout for you. Okay, this is a little bit more of an intermediate level workout. I am working on a balanced body reformer. So if you have a reformer at home and it's not a balanced body reformer, I will work with you on the spring changes, spring loads. Okay, we're going to be the number of changes are very minimal, so you're not going to have to worry about that. As long as you have a reformer box, that's the only prop you need today, and you want to get that set up right on your carriage. I have mine propped up against my shoulder block so it doesn't go anywhere. So short box style, horizontal on that carriage, and right up against those shoulder blocks so it doesn't move. Okay, that box is gonna stay that way throughout the whole workout. We will move it to the front at the end for some stretching. All right, so full 1 hour workout. Stick with me, I will work with you through all modifications. I will give those as I go. And I hope you have a good workout. All right, we're gonna start on the carriage. So right now I've got 2 red springs and a blue spring. So that's 2 heavy and a medium spring, okay? Or light, I think blue is a light spring on most reformers. You're gonna sit down on the carriage right up against that box, okay? So I've got my low back up against that box and my feet are gonna come onto that foot bar. I've got my foot bar in that normal or first position. My heels are together, so I'm in first position, heels together, toes turned out, and I've got the balls of my feet on that foot bar. So you want the base of your big toe, and then right at the base of your pinky toe connected onto that foot bar. Hands are gonna come alongside, and from here I'm just gonna press in and out. So I'm gonna let those knees bend, good, and then I'm gonna press them out, zip up those inner thighs. Exhale, bend both knees, inhale, zip it up. Okay, so we've got those inhales are when you press out. So we get nice long length through the inner thighs, those zip up into the low belly, and then we let those knees bend. When I let my knees bend, those kneecaps are tracking with big toe, second toe. So I'm not letting my knees go all the way wide like this. Okay, I want my knees to track with big toe, second toe. So I've got some control, and you'll feel your sitting bones or that center of that glute engage on this. So you should feel a little shake. If you can find that alignment, hold that alignment right there. Okay, pressing in and out. Good. Resisting those springs on the way in. So we're moving nice and slow. Good. And those inner thighs touch right when I get all the way out there. Heels are glued together like super glue. I'm not letting them separate at all. Good. Let's go for 4 more. Good, last 3. We're gonna go right into some calf raises. 2. All right, you guys, so 1 more, we're gonna bend those knees, send those legs all the way out nice and long, and from here, I'm gonna let my heels go under and back up. Heels fall under the bar, and I press back up. So little calf raises in first position. Okay, my heels separate just a bit as they fall under the bar, so I get a nice stretch through the back line of my leg. Should feel those calves right away on this spring load. Good, so on my machine, I've got an extra light spring. So we are going to be going to that yellow spring or extra light spring. If you only have a light spring or a blue spring, you can be there as well. This is the only time we're going to be this loaded with our springs. Good, pressing in and out. Let's go for 6. Good, last 5. Can't count. Last 4. We're going to swivel into parallel position with those legs. And last 2. And last 1. Hold it up there so heels are high. We're going to swivel into parallel position. So the entire ball of my foot is connected to that bar. Heels are going to stay lifted, and now we're going to prance. So my right knee is going to bend as my left heel falls under, and switch. And switch. Okay, so I've got the support of the box. Box is not going anywhere because you've got those shoulder blocks right behind it. My core is engaged, and I'm giving that heel a little double pulse as it falls under the bar. Okay, so it's a little double pulse, getting a nice stretch through the back line of the leg. My legs are about 4 inches apart. Toes are shining directly up to the ceiling. Let's go for 6. Good, last 5. Last 4, keeping the alignment of the kneecap with big toe, second toe. Good, 3. Last 2, right and left is 1, so we're going both sides. Good, and last set. right heel falls under, double pulse, bring it back up, left heel falls under, double pulse, and bend those knees and bring it all the way in. All right, we're gonna get right into it now. So we're gonna come into a standing open close. But before we do that, we're gonna change our springs. So I'm gonna take off my 2 reds, actually I'm taking off all my springs, and I'm putting it on that extra light spring, that yellow spring. If you only have a light spring, that blue spring, put that on there, all right? We're gonna come all the way up, standing on the reformer. So I'm gonna be facing you. It does not matter which direction you are facing, okay? Because we're gonna get both legs into this. My feet are in parallel, so I've got my left foot on the platform right now. My right foot is at the very edge of the carriage, closest to the springs. Again, if you are flipped around and your right foot is on the platform, that is just fine. Arms are gonna start in a low first position, and we're gonna take that carriage out, opening those inner thighs. Arms come out into a T. Okay, and as we close on that inhale, I'm zipping or pulling up my inner thighs into the low belly, all the way up into the middle of my body. I'm not clenching my booty. It's a nice exhale as you open. Good, find that T position. You're only opening as wide as you can, maintaining control with the inner thigh and the low belly. And then I zip those inner thighs up into the low belly, growing taller on my inhale as I pull that carriage in. Good, all the way out to that T with those arms opening up the carriage. Good, carriage is nice and light, but I want you to resist the coming back, okay? Growing taller through the crown of the head. That's why we inhale, that diaphragm drops. We get nice and long. Exhale as you open. Good, arms come no higher than that underarm height, and then we bring it in, not clenching the booty, but zipping up those inner thighs. Good. Exhale. Exhale, open. Good, inhale, zip up the inner thighs, relax the booty, inner thighs into the low belly, bring it back in. Let's go for 2 more. Growing taller as I come in. Good, doesn't look like much, but if we really think about where that movement needs to come from, okay, I want you to think about that intentional movement every time, right from those inner thighs. Good, all the way pulling it up and in. Good, now on this next one, we're gonna open halfway. Okay, so that carriage is gonna open halfway, not as wide as it was before. Okay, and from here, we're gonna work on some squats, so you don't wanna be too wide. Bring those hands into prayer position, and from here, we're gonna keep the carriage absolutely still as we bend both knees, reaching those sits bones back for a nice wide squat. And then we're gonna inhale all the way back to standing 2 straight legs. Exhale, reach those sits bones back for the heels, torso naturally tilts forward just a bit, and then we inhale all the way up. The control is coming from the inner line of the leg. Okay, we're reaching the sits bone back. The core is nice and tight, I'm not letting that carriage move, so I'm working nice and slow. You should have a little tremble throughout the body right now, working at that slow, controlled pace. Good, you want those knees just in front of the ankle, and they're tracking with big toe, second toe. Good, controlling that carriage, not letting it wiggle too much. Good, things heat up really fast with all that control. You've got 4 more. And up, inhale. Good, exhale, last 3. Good, 2 more. Finding full extension of those legs every time we rise. Good, last one, reach those sits bones back. All the way back up. Okay, on this next one, we're gonna be holding. So you're gonna find that squat, and we're gonna hold. Let's press those palms together so we can engage the right and left waistline, and we're gonna skate down the street now. So my left leg is gonna extend, the one on the platform, right or left, whichever one you have is fine. Then we're gonna bend that leg back in, right leg extends, or the one on the carriage. Good, bring that leg back into that bent squat position, extend the opposite leg. Good, so it's just like you're skating down the street, but we're going super slow, bending that leg all the way back in before you let the other one extend. So nice control from those inner thighs, core is super zipped up and tight, ribs are closed, Pressing my palms together is helping activate those obliques. Inhale as you take that leg out. Exhale as you bring it back. Inhale, opposite leg. Exhale, bring it back. Let's go for 4 more. Both right and left is 1. Good, last 3. Keep reaching those sits bones back. Good, we've got 2. Full extension of that leg that leads. Good, you want to get that back side of the knee all the way open. Woo. Inner thighs, good, last 2. Good, and last set. We're staying here though, we're not going anywhere. All right, on the next one, you're gonna bring it back in, staying in that squat position. We're gonna come into a deadlift. So we're gonna lift up out of that squat, pointing those fingers down. We're gonna keep the knees soft and stick those sits bones out, nice flat back. Coming all the way back up, hands come to prayer, pressing the palms together, find your squat. Good, bring it all the way up, knees stay soft, we don't lock them out. And then we lead those hands like we're diving straight for the springs. Back stays nice and flat. Good, coming back up to prayer position, press those palms together, find your squat. Good, come back up. So it's like that deadlift position, that's what we're working for. Okay, you don't need to come all the way down to the springs, that's not the goal. We want to keep that back nice and flat. Shoulder blades wrap the ribs, shoulders are away from the ears, knees stay soft, and that carriage stays still. Good, try not to let it wiggle too much. Good, let's go for 4 more. Don't let that carriage move. Diving straight down with those hands. Coming back, pressing the palms together. Woo, shaky, shaky. Last 3. Good, we've got 2 more. The slower you go, the more you're going to be able to control that carriage. Keeping that core nice and tight. We've got 1 more, and then that last layer in this exercise is coming up. All right, guys, on the next one, press those palms together, find your squat and hold it right there. Little pulse of your squat. Keep that carriage still. I want you to think about the pulse coming from those sitting bones. Okay, so directly from the center of that glute, those sitting bones, they narrow towards the middle of your body and they broaden to lower you. They narrow to send you up and they broaden to lower. So that's what I want you to feel in your body. All your intention goes right back there to those sitting bones. Nothing else. Keep those toes down. Heels are heavy. Good. Full foot connection. Pressing those palms together for 6. Good. Last 5. Carriage is still for 4. Don't let it wiggle. Last 3. Good. You've got 2. And last 1. And bring it all the way up. And bring that carriage all the way in, guys. Woo, toasty. All right, come all the way. And we're going to come into a forward plank. So, staying on the carriage. Okay, I'm going to turn. My heels are going to come up against the box. So I'm in a parallel position with those feet. Feet are about 4 inches apart, okay? From here, we're going to keep the wrists over the shoulders. And we're going to send those legs back. So you want to make sure those heels have a nice firm connection with the box. From here, in that nice long body, we're going to hold it there, and we're going to bring those knees under the hips. So on your exhale breath, lifting up out of those shoulders, you're going to bend the knees, stopping them under your hips, and then you're going to inhale as you send them back out. Exhale, tailbone points straight back. Inhale, send those legs out. Good, inhale, send it out, staying lifted up. Right between those shoulder blades. I don't want you to let those shoulder blades wing out. We want to lift up between those shoulder blades. We want to pull that belly button up and in. Heels stay connected to the box. Good, let's go for 4. Last 3. Should be feeling those beads of sweat coming. Good. Last 2. All right, guys, we're taking this right into the next exercise. So on your next one, you're going to hold that nice long position. Right foot is going to stay down, heel is connected to the box, but my left knee is going to pull up towards the chest. And now we're going to switch. My right knee's going to, pull in, my left leg's going to go back above the box, and then we're going to switch. Good, right knee bends, left leg lengthens, kiss the bumper, and then come all the way back. So each time I bend that right knee in, my carriage kisses the bumper. Okay, we're keeping those shoulders over the wrists. Nice lift up and out of those shoulders. Core is super tight. Okay, let's go for 4 more. Good. Last 3. Let's go for 2. We're going to hold that left leg back there. Good. On your next one, left leg goes back and it's holding. My carriage is kissing the bumpers, my right knee is bent. Tap the box and up. Left leg taps and up. It's a tap and a lower. And a lift. Good. For 4. Woo. For 3. Last 2. Don't let that carriage go anywhere. Good. On the next one, you're going to hold it up there. Little leg circles. Little leg circles from the top of the hip. For 4, get some movement from that whole leg. Last 3. Don't let that carriage go. Last 2. Switch the direction of your circle. This is it. It should feel shaky. You're here for 4. Woo, they don't look like much of circles, I'm sure. Last 3. Woo, last 2. And bring it all the way in. Woo, all right, let's come down to the floor. You're going to step off to the right side of your machine, okay? We're going to do some lunging. So my right foot is going to stay on the floor. You're still on that 1 extra light spring. If you have only a light spring, you're right there. Right foot's right there up close to the reformer. Left foot is up against the box, all right? From here, hands can either be on your hips or prayer position. We're going to bend that right knee. So we're going to send that left leg long first, all the way out, and now my right knee is going to bend, and it's going to come all the way back to straight. Good, bending that right knee, sends the carriage back, and then I come up. So, just like a normal lunge, back stays flat, there's a natural tilt of the torso. That right sits bone leads straight back, and then I come to a fully straight right leg. My left leg is staying as long as possible. Okay, there's a slight bend to my knee, and that's absolutely fine. Good, so that right knee, okay, you want it to line up with big toe, second toe, and come back up. Your kneecap and your sits bone reach far away from each other. That's what gives you the depth. Good, full foot connection. Good, we got some holds coming up. So I really want you to watch the alignment of that front knee. Directly in front of the ankle with that knee, and then tracking that kneecap with big toe, second toe. Core is nice and tight. Good. Both hip bones stay shining straight forward. Let's go for 4 more. Good, last 3. Good, 2 more. Okay, we're coming up on a hold. Last 1, all the way down and up. Lifting inner thighs, squeeze up into the midline. On your next one, you bend that knee and we hold it right there. From here, we're going to come into a little carriage pull with that back leg. So that left knee bends, bring the carriage in, and send it back out. We bend that knee under the body and send it back out. Good, keeping that lunge. Right leg is stable. Left knee bends in, and then we send it back out. Good. Nice and smooth. Foot stays connected to the box. Good, you've got 4 more. Good, we're not done here. Good, last 3. Whew, that right leg. Good, last 2. Last 1. Hold that left leg back there now. My right heel peels up 1 inch and down. Up and down. It's a little lift and lower. Now each time I set that heel down, I don't just tap the ground and bring it back up. I press the ground with my heel and then I bring it up. I press and then I lift. Press and lift. Keep lots of length from that right sits bone through that right kneecap. Lots of length on that thigh. Good, should feel shaky. Good, you got it. We're here for 4. Good, last 3. Holding that heel up in 2. All right, on the next one, you're gonna hold that heel lifted. Bend that left knee under you and send it back. Bend the left knee under. Good, keep that heel lifted. Good, it's not going anywhere. It's staying up there. You've got it. We've got 6. Woo. For 5. Good, core is tight. Last 4. You've got 3. Good, last 2. Last 1. Set that heel down and bring it all the way back up. Woohoo! All right, and if you need that foot bar at any point, that is absolutely fine. It is there for a little extra support. We're gonna turn and face the carriage now. My spring is no longer changing, okay? So whatever spring you have, that extra light or that light spring, you're staying right there all the way throughout the end of class, okay? So right foot stays on the floor. That leg is in a turned out position. So we've got external rotation from the hip. Toes are angled out at a 45-degree angle. From here, the left side of my foot is up against that box. I'm going to keep my hands on my hips and I'm going to lengthen that left leg all the way out. From here, we're going to bend that right knee and we're going to stay right here in the side lunge. So I'm reaching my right sits bone back. My knee is right in front of the ankle, lining up with big toe, second toe. My left leg is going to work. So we're going to bend that knee and send it all the way back out. So it's like we're skating, okay, on that left side. Bringing it in and sending it out. Every time I bring that knee in, that femur bone sinks back into the hip, and then I extend it all the way out. Good, staying nice and low. Core is nice and tight. Good, hands can always come behind the back. If that feels better, a little bit more of a skater position. Good, holding it here. You've got 6. Good, last 5. You've got 4. We got some layers here. Good, last 3. 2. All right, on the next one, you're gonna hold that left leg nice and long. My right heel is gonna peel. So it's a little lift and lower. My head doesn't change. It's a spiral of the inner thigh. That right inner thigh spirals to the ceiling to pick up that heel. Every time I set that heel down, I press it into the floor. So I don't just set it down lightly. It's an engagement of the back line of that leg by pressing it into the floor. You've got 4 more. Good. Last 3. Holding that heel high again. In 2. On the next one, hold that heel lifted. Let's bend that left knee in and send it back out. Woo, let's bend it in. Core is engaged and send it out. Good, exhale in. Inhale, lengthen. Good, heel is lifted off the floor about 1 inch. You've got 4 more. Good, last 3. You've got 2. Woo-hoo, that right thigh, that right quad. Good, and 1 more. Set that heel down and come all the way up. Woo, all right, we got scooter, and then we're gonna give this right leg a little bit of a break, all right? So with the box, it's gonna add that little extra resistance for that stabilizing leg. So right leg stays on the floor, left foot comes up against that box 1 more time. So the ball of my foot, my toes are turned under, ball of the foot is engaged, heel is with the box, okay? Right leg, you want that right ankle directly underneath the hip. From here, you're gonna bend or soften that right leg, and it's gonna stay that way, okay? You've got your foot bar if you need a little extra support, okay? But I want you to keep that alignment of the right kneecap, big toe, second toe. Little demi-plie here. We're gonna send that left leg back. Lengthen and bring it back. Extend the left leg and bring it back. Okay, so staying low or keeping that little bent position. I'm going to adjust my right leg to make sure that heel is directly underneath that sits bone. We've got a natural little lean through the chest. Good, and that stabilizing leg, that's where you should feel it. Shouldn't feel heavy on that left leg. Okay, I don't want you to feel like you're pushing the carriage too much. I want you to feel like you're stabilizing with that right leg, so that right leg starts to burn a little bit more if it wasn't already. Good, holding it here. There are no layers here. Good, hands can come to prayer. Sending it out and back in with lots of control. Hips stay together. So don't let that left hip swing back to get a bigger press. Keeping that right knee bent, soft. Good. We've got 8. 7. Press those palms together for a little extra engagement through the waistline. Good. 6. Last 5. Woo, you've got 4. Try not to grip with those toes. Keep them relaxed on the floor. You've got 3. Woo, last 2. And 1 more. And bring it all the way up. Okay, that right leg needs a little shake, right? Little shake. All right, we're going to get into the triceps a little bit. So we're going to stay forward facing, but we're going to come into a little demi split lunge. So my left leg is going to be back, my right leg is going to be forward. Okay, from here, we've got that little separated stance. We're going to take a little demi split squat. So knees are soft, but are not all the way down to the ground, okay? You've got just a little bend to those knees. The left heel of my hand is on the edge of the box, or that top corner of the box. Front hip, that left hip bone, is lined up with the palm of my hand, okay? So right at the front of the box. Bent knee position, that left arm is bent, that left elbow is bent. We're gonna take that left arm, and nothing else is gonna change. We're gonna press the box back, and then bend the elbow in. Press the box back, engage the tricep, and bring it in. Now, if you want to change the resistance here, the more you scoot back, the further you have to press that box. So, if you want to increase the resistance, come back so that that left hip bone lines up with the middle of the box. And with an extra light spring, that's possible. If you're on a blue, I probably wouldn't come this far back. You wouldn't be able to control through the shoulder. And I want you to get full extension of that left elbow. Okay, so that left elbow completely opens up. We pause to find the contraction of the tricep, and then we slowly guide it back. Good, core is nice and tight. Those legs are working because you're in that little demi split squat. Nothing crazy. Inner thighs are still magnetizing towards each other. So even though the legs are in this separated position, I want you to think about those inner thighs magnetizing towards the middle of your body, meeting in the center. Fully extending. Good, there are no layers here either, just as press back. Pressing it back, not hiking that left shoulder. We're keeping that left shoulder low. Good. You've got 6. Good, last 5. Good, we're going to turn and face the rear of the machine in 4. Good, last 3. Good, last 2. And 1 more. And slowly guide that carriage back in. All right, we're going to turn and face the back of the machine. The same position we're going to be in with those legs. Now, I didn't mention on the tricep, but if your machine is a lot lower than this, you can come all the way down onto your knee. Okay, that's possible too. But otherwise, I want you in that little demi split squat. This time, my left leg is forward, my right leg is back, both knees are bent. Okay, so my right heel is off the floor. The right heel of my hand is going to come to that front edge of the box, and I'm just going to press, tighten the core. We're going to press that box out and back in. Press it out and back back in. So same thing, if you want to increase the resistance, step forward. Okay, so that elbow gets a little deeper of a bend. Good, and then we're sending it back out. Core is engaged, inner thighs are magnetizing towards the middle of my body. Once you feel stable, we're going to add a little hop with that right arm. So it's going to send that box out. We're going to catch it and bring it back. Good, so that catch is important because we're catching with that right waistline. So I want you to tighten the core to catch the box so that the body doesn't move. Okay, it's an inhale, release, exhale, receive. Inhale, release, exhale, receive. My box is shifting a little bit, yours might too, but don't worry guys, it's not going to go anywhere. Good, and there are no more layers here, so we just got this little jump. Everything else is stable. Tighten up that core. Inhale out, exhale to catch. Good, we've got 6 more. 6. Good. 5. 4. Good, last 3. 2. And last 1. And bring it all the way in nice and slow. All right, we're getting back on the machine now. So box stays where it is, springs stay where they're at. You're gonna come seated on the box, facing the right side of your machine. So my right hip is down on the box, it's bent, my right knee is bent in front of me. My left foot is gonna come underneath my foot strap. Okay, so we're gonna do some side bending. So right hip down, left leg engaged under that foot strap. Now, from this position, you wanna find a diagonal with the left side of the body so the foot lifts up into the strap, okay? So hands are gonna come behind the head. If this feels too aggressive, you bring them into prayer, okay? So most aggressive is gonna be right back here in this airplane position. We're gonna find that nice line. So crown of the head reaches away from my left heel. My left toes are pointed straight forward, so that way I'm lifting up through the side of my foot. Okay, so that outer line of the ankle is facing up. Okay, inner line of the thigh faces the box. Lift up into that strap so we're not resting that foot onto anything else. Hands are in that airplane position. We've got that nice diagonal. From here, we're gonna inhale as we lift up. Exhale back to that diagonal. Inhale, curl it up, nice length on the left waistline, and bring it back. Now, even though this mimics a crunch, right? We're not crunching that left waistline. Okay, so it's a curl, a lengthening lift. All right, I want you to think about growing taller out of the crown of the head as you curl up so that left waistline stays really long. Okay, and we stay lifted up into that foot strap. So if your foot strap is on metal carabiners like mine are, you don't want to hear that metal shake. Okay, it should be nice and quiet because you're engaged from the top of the hip. It's a lengthen and lift. We've got 6. Good, last 5. 4. Good, we've got 3. Last 2. We got a little rotation coming up. On the next one, hold that diagonal. We're gonna rotate towards the headrest and come back. Good, rotating from the waist and then bringing it back. Let's go for 4 more. Still lifting up into that strap. Good, last 3. We've got 2. And last 1. And bring it all the way up. Woo, it's always smoky. All right, from here, we're gonna come into a rear-facing plank, okay? And this is gonna take us onto the other side of the machine. So, we're gonna come forearms down on your box, toes on the platform behind you. Feet are 4 inches apart, parallel. From here, let's lengthen out into our best plank. I've got ninja palms, palms are facing in. Body's nice and long. I'm lifting up between those shoulder blades. From here, we're gonna start nice and simple because we're here for a little longer set. So if you need to take a break, absolutely set those knees down. We're gonna bend the knees under the body just like we did earlier. Knees bend under those hips. Inhale, send it all the way back out. Exhale, bend them in. Inhale, send them long. Good, so those knees stop directly underneath the hips to get those femur bones up into the hip socket. Crown of the head is reaching far away from that tailbone, and I've got that belly button pulled up and in underneath my lowest rib, lifting up between those shoulder blades. Good, let's go for 4 more because we've got a lot to do here. Good, last 3. Last 2. Good, last 1. Whole body's already shaken. From here, hold that long position. We're gonna pike those hips up. So it's a lift of the low belly. Pike those hips up, kiss the bumper, and send that carriage all the way back out. Good, lifting, inner thighs lift up and pick up into the low belly, and then we reach it all the way back out. Think of those inner thighs on puppet strings. They pull up and in through that low belly, and reach it long. Good, not letting those hips dip down towards the springs. Keeping that nice plank position, but fully connecting to your plank. Let's go for 4 more. Good. Last 3. We're going to transition up into our hands. Last 2. All right, guys. On the next one, you're going to find that nice long plank. One time, we're going to step up to our hands. Okay, so quick transition, wrists underneath shoulders. My right foot is going to stay on the platform, but my left toes are going to lie down on top of that foot bar. Nice and light, okay, not gripping. We're going to come into a single leg pike. So we're going to reach that right sits bone up and back. It's not going to go far. And then all the way back to that plank. Reach that right sits bone up and back. All the way back out. Good, so obviously if you're a taller person, this is going to look more dramatic than my 5-foot self on this machine. Okay, but you're reaching that right sits bone up and back. So it's a single leg lift. Good, right inner thigh lifts up into that low belly for 4. Both legs are going to come to that foot bar. Good. Last 2. All right, you guys, on the next one, we're going to lengthen it all the way back out. Bring those left toes down. Now, one at a time, you're going to step those feet up to the foot bar. Both feet are on the foot bar. I'm in my nice long plank on top of that box. From here, my left knee is going to come to my chest, and then it's going to arabesque over the foot bar. It's going to reach into my chest, and then arabesque over the foot bar. Curl into that knee, little spinal flexion, and out. Curl and out. Good, curl and out. Let's go for 4. 4. 3. Good, you guys. Last 2. We're going to take the other side. So if you need to rest, bring it into that rest. Good, set that foot back down. Let's go to the right leg. Right knee pulls in, arabesque it out. Pull it in, send it out. Good, it's a curl into that knee and a lift. Curl and reach. Good, we've got 4. Last 3. Good, you've got 2. We're coming into that single leg pike. Last 1. Reach it back, both toes down. Okay, we're going to step 1 foot at a time onto the platform. If you need to set your hips down or set your knees down, go ahead. Left foot stays on the platform. Right toes become light. Okay, and now, right from here, make sure you're lengthened out, wrist under shoulders. Pike that left hip up and back, and send it all the way out. Pike it up and back, send it all the way out. Good. So this would be much more aggressive if my palms were all the way on the carriage rather than the box. But I think we've been in this plank long enough that you definitely feel it. We're here for 4. Whew. Coming into that side bend. In 3. Last 2. And last 1. And bring it all the way back out. And bring those knees down to the carriage. Whoo, nice job, sweaty, sweaty. All right, we're going to come into that left side bend, or that right side bend. So we're circling around the machine now. So I'm going to be facing away from you. My left hip is going to come onto that box. Left knee hooks in front. Right foot underneath that foot strap. Okay? So from here, we're going to find that long length down the right side of the body. Hands come behind the head or into prayer position, your choice. Okay? Hands behind the head is going to be the most aggressive. Let's lengthen out and find that nice diagonal, lifting with the right side of the foot so that we get it out of the hip and not out of the ankle. Okay, if we're like this, we're going to be hooking with the ankle. I want you to lift up from the side of the hip. Everything is tight. Okay, from here, it's an inhale, curl and lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, curl and lift. Exhale, release. Lengthen out that waistline. Curl, keep length, and release. We're lengthening from the crown of the head as we curl, and then we come back. It's a curl and a lengthen, lifting up out of that strap, and back. Let's go for 6. Good, last 5. 4. Good, you guys. Last 3. I haven't done these in a while now. This is one of my favorite moves. Good, last 2. Feels nice to do it again and miserable at the same time. Good, all right, last 1. Come back to that diagonal position. Now we're gonna do those rotations. So we're gonna turn and face the headrest and come back, squaring off the shoulders. Turn and rotating from the waist and squaring off the shoulders. Good, let's go for 4 more. Lifting up out of that strap. Remember, that strap does not wiggle. Good, let's go for 2. And last 1. Rotating, growing long, coming back, and lifting all the way up, guys. Nice job. All right, guys, now we're going to get down off to that left side, and we're going to start with that tricep press, okay? So we're going to have that left leg forward. Right leg is back. Remember, you want that right hip bone at the front of that box, all right? Now, we're going to be able to change the resistance as we go. You're in that little demi split squat. Okay, left hand is on your hip. Right heel of your hand is on that edge of the box, all right? So from here, you're going to press that box back, pause, engage the tricep, and send it back. All right, so if you want something a little bit more aggressive, remember, I am on 1 extra light spring. So if you're on a blue, you probably want to stay right here. All right, if you're on that light spring. If you're on an extra light spring like me, you could take a little step back and press it from there. Okay, then we're really going to get that tricep engaged. Little demi split squat, core is tight, full extension of that right elbow. Press it back and bring it forward. Good, nice control here. Elbow bends, elbow unfolds. Good, I'm not hiking up that right shoulder. Good, full body is working because we're in that little demi split squat. So both knees are bent, back knees dripping towards the floor, left foot is forward. Good, keeping it here. Find that little pause at the end of the movement so we can contract that tricep. Good, let's go for 6. Last 5. You've got 4. Last 3. We're going to swivel around for those single arm jumps. Good, last 2. And last 1. And bring it all the way in. All right, let's swivel around. So now my right leg is forward, left leg is back. We're going to find that little demi split squat again. And now the left heel of my hand is on the edge of that box. All right, from here, we're going to just press it out and bring it back. Extend the elbow and bring it back. All right, so again, you can move around your position on the floor to change that resistance. Okay, if I come a little more forward, now my left arm is more behind me. I have a further distance to press that box out. You want to make sure that you keep control from that left side. So we're going to go into those little jumps. All right, so now from here, remember, right leg is forward, left leg is back. We're in the same position, demi split squat. Both knees are bent. We're going to do those little hops. So we're going to send that box out and catch it and bring it back. Core is tight, so that left oblique catches that box. Nothing else changes in my body. Chest stays up, left shoulder blade stays down. I've got nice control coming from the core. I feel that left waistline receive the weight of the box. Good, holding it here. There are no more layers, just nice control right here. Those legs are engaged, right, so full body is working. Try not to lean into that box, try not to hike that shoulder. Good, we got 6 more hops. Last 5. Good, you've got 4. Last 3. We got 2. And last 1. And bring it all the way in. All right, we're gonna go into those lunges now. My right foot is gonna be up against that box. We're coming into scooter, okay? So we're circling back around. Left foot, you want that left heel directly underneath the hip, okay? So once you've got that position, right knee is bent a lot. We're gonna bend that left knee so it's in a little demi-plie. Holding that position, your stabilizing leg is the working leg. My right leg is gonna send this carriage out. So we're gonna inhale, lengthen the right leg out. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale, send it out. Exhale, bring it back. So I'm opening up from that right psoas muscle, lengthening that right leg out, and then I'm controlling the femur bone coming back into the hip as the box wants to press me in, especially if you are on a blue spring. I am on a yellow, an extra light spring. If you are on a blue, you've got real resistance from that box. So I want you to control the box coming in. Okay, it's never a push. I want you to think about the inhale breath. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to bring it back. Holding that left leg is stabilizing. Good, had a little break before. Good, if you're gripping with those left toes on the floor, relax them. Okay, core is nice and tight. I've got a natural tilt. If your hands are on the foot bar, that's going to give you a little extra support. So your choice here. If you can get them off the foot bar into prayer or to your hips, that's going to challenge that stabilizing leg even more. Okay, because you got all that control right there. Good, hip bones stay together. Good, core is nice and tight. We've got 8. Good, 7. Last 6. Good, you've got 5. Good, let's go for 4. Last 3. Good, last 2. And 1 more, let's go 1 more. And control it all the way back in and come up. All right, we're gonna come right into that side lunge. So left foot's gonna stay on the ground. We're gonna turn and face the machine. Left toes stay on the floor, but my left leg is in external rotation, so toes are turned out at a 45-degree angle. The right side of my foot, make sure you're close to the reformer. Okay, the right side of my foot is parallel up against that box. All right, hands are gonna come to the hips. We're gonna lengthen that right leg all the way out. And from here, we're gonna bend that left knee. Now remember, that left kneecap lines up with big toe, second toe. So look for that alignment. If it's not aligning, adjust your positioning, okay? Knee is directly in front of the ankle. From here, we're gonna skate on that right side. So we're gonna bend it in, femur bone sinks into the hip. Inhale, lengthen it back out. Exhale, femur bone sinks in. Inhale, lengthen it out. Good, everything on this left side is stabilizing. So we want to pour that core in nice and tight. Left leg is stable, it's not changing position. My height doesn't change as I skate on this right side. So it's lots of control. Good, and again, the weight is light because I want you to feel that stabilizing leg. It is not a shove and a push through that right leg. It's not about the right leg much at all. It's about this left side now, okay? Good, let's go for 4. Bringing that knee in, again with that, finding that alignment. Good, 3. Good, last 2. All right, guys, on the next one, you're gonna hold that right leg long. Now my left heel, the one on the floor, is gonna pick up and lower. It's a lift and a lower. Tiny lift, press the heel into the floor. Lift, press, lift, press. Good, so each time that heel, I send it right through the ground. I wanna light up the back of that leg. So it's not just a tap. Try not to let that ankle roll because I know we're getting tired. So I want you to control to direct lift up and straight down for 4. Last 3. Last 2. On the next one, you're going to hold that heel lifted. Let's bend that right knee back in. We're skating. Inhale, take it out. Exhale, bend it in. Inhale, take it out. Good. Nice lift in that left heel. It's about 1 inch off the ground. Okay, but it's nice and stable. Controlling with that left side. We've got 6. You feel it tremble all the way down that left leg. Last 5. You've got 4. Good. Last 3. And notice I'm not looking at you the whole time because I want to keep the back of my neck nice and long. Good. Last 1. Bring it in, set that heel down, and rise all the way up. So good. All right, let's do that lunge, all right? We're almost there. Left foot is on the ground. Right heel is up against the box. Ball of the right foot is on the carriage. Okay, so we're gonna wanna find some alignment here, so that may need to adjust after we get our first lunge in. Let's lengthen that right leg out, hands are in prayer position, and from here we're gonna bend that left knee. That is how the carriage glides back. And then we inhale, scissoring those inner thighs up and into the low belly. Exhale, bend that left knee. Inhale, fully straighten. Good, right leg does not change position anymore. The one that's up against the box, that leg stays as long as possible. My left knee, I'm watching for that alignment. I am always looking for that left knee to come in front of the ankle and that kneecap to line up with big toe, second toe. Lots of control there. We never want that knee coming in front of the toes or in behind the ankle either. Both things can happen in this position. Let's press those palms together to light up that waistline. Good, both hip bones move together. Natural lean with the torso to get a nice long low back. Okay, we want to keep that low back nice and flat. Good, let's go for 4 more. Good, we want to stay here as long as possible because that road runner on the carriage is coming up. Last 3, and that one's a burner. Good, last 2. All right, guys, on the next one, you're going to hold that lunge. Let's bend that left knee and hold. All right, right from here, we're going to bend that right leg. Bend it in and send it out. You may need to adjust. I need to adjust my position of that right knee. Okay, bringing it in, under the body, and sending it back out. Good, bending it in and sending it back out. Good. Now my right heel is losing connection with the box. You can scoot that foot back if you want that full connection with the box. It's definitely a little bit better if you have that connection. If it's lifting away from the box, that's okay. But I want you to think about stopping that right knee underneath the hip. That tactile cue of the box is kind of nice. Good. Bringing it in. Left knee is bent. You're still in that lunge, pressing those palms together. Let's go for 4. We've got that heel peel coming up. Last 3. Good. We've got 2 more. Ooh, both legs are shaking now. Good. Last 1. Hold that right leg long now. My left heel, my knee is still bent. We're going to peel the one on the floor. Heel up and down. Little lift and lower. Left inner thigh spirals towards the ceiling to pick up that heel. Good, it's straight up and down. Remember, pressing that heel into the ground when you set it down. And it's not a pop up and a drop. It's a smooth lift and smooth lower. Good, think about that leg on hydraulics. Nice and smooth. Good, let's go for 4. Whew, Woo, last 3. You've got 2. Both hip bones are together on the same level. Good. On your next one, hold that heel lifted. Right knee bends again. Bend it under the body. Send it back out. Good. Bend it in. Send it out. Full ball of the foot is connected on the floor, but my heel is lifted. Bending that right knee under the body. Good. We've got 6. Whew. Last 5. Core is tight. Good. Last 4. Last 3. Reaching that left sits bone back. 2, and last 1. And set that heel down and come all the way up. Ooh, so good. Fire, fire in the left leg. All right, shake it out. We're coming back onto the reformer. This is our last exercise that circles us through that whole thing, and then we've got 1 move through center before we stretch. So back onto that carriage. Springs don't change. You're on that 1 extra light spring. Heels come up against the box. About 4 inches apart, parallel with those toes. Okay, from here, shoulders over wrists, all 10 fingers on the front side of that foot bar. That's going to help the wrists. Lengthen out to your best plank. All right, from here, my left foot stays connected to the carriage. My right knee pulls in. So right knee in, lift it out over the box. Oops, I actually changed it. We're switching. So before you do that, you're bending that left knee in and then bending the right knee. So it's a switch. Good. Right knee curls in, left leg long. Good. And then the left knee bends in, right leg goes back. Switch. Good. So you're like running in place almost. Kissing the bumpers every time. With that box there, should be a little bit easier to get that carriage to touch. Let's go for 4. Good. Last 3. You've got 2. Woo. Definitely harder to talk through these. On your next one, hold that right leg long, left knee is bent a lot. It's a tap of the box and up. Tap, up. Keep the carriage against the bumpers. You've got 4. Good. Last 3. Woo. Last 2. Don't let it go. On your next one, hold that right leg up, little circles. From the top of the leg, top of the femur bone, swivels in that hip for 4, 3, 2. Take it the other way, other direction. Woo, not much circle here. Good. You've got 4, 3, 2, and bring it all the way down and come back in. You can take a quick little stretch back, get those heels up against the box, reach those shoulders away from the wrists. Whew. All right, come onto your box. All right, you're gonna sit down. I'm gonna actually change my spring here. So I've got my extra light spring on. I'm gonna change it to a blue. So if you're already on a blue, stay there. If you have that option of a light spring rather than an extra light, go for that. Okay, and we're gonna come down. So I'm gonna line up. My lumbar spine is gonna be off of the box, but the thoracic spine, okay, is gonna be on the box. So you wanna get into that position, okay? So base of the shoulder blades, or somewhere around there, is where you want to be on that box. Hands are gonna come behind the head in that airplane position. Both feet come to the foot bar. Okay, let's come into first position. Heels together, toes turned out. Remember, you want the full ball of the foot connected on that bar. Let's lengthen all the way out, zip up those inner thighs, and let's engage the glute and lengthen the front of the body. Okay, so core is nice and tight, and I'm lifting. I'm not letting that low back fall down. I'm lifting it up, so I feel nice engagement from my glutes. Hands are still behind the head. We're gonna take 1 ab curl. So, nice inhale to prepare. Exhale, curl those shoulder blades up. And now we're gonna bend the knees. So the knees are gonna bend, tracking with big toe, second toe, so it's not a super wide opening. You've got that narrow V, and then zip up the inner thighs and send it out. Good, exhale, bend it in. Inhale, send it out. Good. In, keeping that lumbar spine lifted. Okay, front of the body, nice and engaged, core is tight. Bend it in and send it out. Good. We've got 4. Last 3. Zip up those inner thighs all the way so that they squeeze together through the midline. Last 2. 1 more. Zip them up. Good. Now we're going to shift. So we're going to come back in, knees bent. Let's come into a parallel position where our heel pockets, so not our heels, but just in front of the heels, are on that foot bar. From here, you're going to lay that ab curl down. Hands can stay behind the head. And now we're just going to bridge up, pressing into the foot bar with those heel pockets, and then send it down. Press it up, engage the glute, engage the hamstring, and send it down. Carriage doesn't move in and out, it is up against the bumper. Good, and I'm finding a release, but I'm not fully letting my ribs open. Okay, so you want to keep those ribs closed. Good, back of the legs, you should be shaking, engaging that hamstring. Good, lift, engage the glute and lower. Lift and lower, we've got 6. 6, good, last 5. 4, good, last 3, last 2. On the next one, let's hold it up there, extend those legs out, and bend them back in. Keep those hips high now. Send it out, and bring it back in. Good, keep it lifted. Good, engaging the glute, engaging the hamstring. Front of the body is nice and long. Good, you've got 4. We've got a little pulse coming up, that's it. Good, last 2. All right, on the next one, you're gonna hold those knees bent, carriage is up against the bumper, little pulse, up, up, up. For 8, 7, 6, hamstrings, keep that carriage in. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and bring it all the way down, guys. All right, this is not the easiest to come out of, but I bring my feet to the platform, and then I bring my elbows onto the box and sit down. All right, you're gonna stretch now. Feels good. All right, we're gonna come off that carriage. We're gonna take the box to stretch. So, what I want you to do is, if you've got that light spring, you can keep it on, or you can change to a yellow, your choice. It's not gonna make much of a difference either way. You're going to take that foot bar into its lowest position, okay? Once you're there, you're going to take that box and we're going to place it right on top of that foot bar, all right? So you want it to be nice and stable. So get it stable before you get on it. I don't want you to fall at home on your reformer. Okay, so mine's nice and stable, propped up on that foot bar. From here, we're going to start with some side bending, all right? So I'm going to face you. My left forearm is going to come down onto the box, knees are underneath those hips. Pretty much underneath those hips anyway. And my right arm is down by my side. I'm going to keep the alignment of my left shoulder over my left elbow. And we're going to reach up and over the box with that right arm. So I'm reaching up and over to the left. My carriage glides out so I can find length on my left waistline. Bring it all the way back in, bringing those knees under your hips. Lengthening all the way out. So I've got 2 long lines down my right and left waistline. And then I bring it all the way back. Good, last one. And we're gonna go 1 more. We're just gonna hold it a little longer. So up and over to the left. We're gonna hold it right here for 4, 3, nice reach to those fingertips, last 2. And bring it all the way back in. Let's turn and face the box now. My right foot is gonna come to the top of the box, okay? So right foot on the top of the box, left knee is under the hip, fingertips come to be on either side of that right foot. From here, we're gonna straighten that right leg. So we're gonna start to lengthen out, opening up the back of the right knee. My toes lift, so I only have connection through the heel, and we get a nice stretch through the hamstring. Keeping those fingertips connected to the box, so I'm bowing down over that right leg. That should feel good after that long bridge. Good, and then we're gonna fold it back in, connecting the ball of the foot and the toes to the box. Let's lengthen out again, slowly opening up the back of the knee. Good, letting those toes peel up into a flexed foot position. I'm I'm leaning over or rounding over that right leg. Good, bringing it back in, and we're going to go one more time. We're going to hold it a little longer. So let's lengthen and open the back of the right knee, rounding down over that leg. We're just holding here for 6, for 5, last 4, 3, 2, and bring it all the way back in. So let's come into a nice child's pose. Always my favorite. Okay, so knees come the width of the carriage, toes are back between those shoulder blocks. Let's bring those palms to the box and just lengthen those shoulders back away from the fingertips, pressing those sits bones back for the heels. Core is nice and tight. So we've got a nice long waistline on both the right and left side. 2 big breaths right here. Inhale. Inflate those ribs towards the sides of the room. Exhale all that air out. Another big inhale. Inflate those ribs. Exhale. Send all that air back out. Good. Once you're ready, bring it all the way back in, and let's go on to the other side. So my left foot's going to come up to the top of the box, fingertips on either side. Now one side may be a lot tighter than the other, so just work with your range of motion, okay, and go with what feels good. If you can't fully straighten out that left or those knees, that's okay. I want you to go into the point where you feel you're really getting a nice stretch. We're sending that back of the left knee open, toes pick up into a flexed foot position so my heel stays connected to the box. I'm rounding down over that left leg. My right knee stays underneath the hip. If you want to open up that right side, you can, but that puts more pressure on the kneecap, so be careful right there. Let's bring it back in. Good, knee comes just in front of the ankle. Let's lengthen it back out. Toes peel up, heel stays connected. Rounding down over that leg. Good, bringing it back in, and on this next one, we're going to hold it for a 6 count. So we're going to take it all the way out. Fingertips stay connected to the box. Toes stay pointed up. We're here for 6. Last 5. Good. You've got 4. 3. Last 2. Good. Bring it all the way back in. And last thing, we got those side bends. So bring that knee or that foot off the box. Let's turn so that our right forearm can come down on the box. Ninja palm, so palm is facing in. My knees are pretty close to the box, just underneath those hips. Left arm is down by my side. And I'm going to reach up and over to the right, lengthening out my right waistline. Good, and finding a little lift through that left. Good, and then slowly bringing it back in, letting those knees come under the hips. Lengthen and lifting up and over, finding a nice diagonal, so both sides of the waist are nice and long. And bringing it back. Good. Lengthen, lengthen, keeping that shoulder aligned with that elbow. Coming all the way back. And we're going to go one more, and we're going to hold it. So we're going to take it all the way out. We're going to reach up and over. 2 long lines. Right waistline is long, left waistline is long. Reaching up and over for 4. Last 3. Good. Last 2. And bringing it all the way back in. Guys, and you are all set. All sweat. That was a nice sweaty one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you ever have any questions or comments for me, please post them below the video, or you can always message me on Instagram or social media, Facebook as well, Just Be Fit. I love reading your comments and I love responding to your questions, so I'm always here. And I will see you next time. All right, guys, nice job.